Jade Star led Wukong out of the deep cave of Flower and Fruit Mountain, and they soared into the sky together. Wukong's somersault cloud was unlike any other, extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, he left Jade Star far behind and arrived first at the southern heavenly gate. Just as he was about to stop his cloud and enter, grow tall heavenly king led 8 mighty celestial warriors Pang, Wu, Go, Bai, Dang, Xian, Zhang, and Tao armed with spears, swords, halberds, and axes, blocking the gate and refusing to let him pass. Wukong grew angry, thinking to himself that this old Jade Star was a scheming man. He had invited him to heaven, so why did he order people to block the way with weapons? As Wukong shouted loudly, Jade Star hurried over. Wukong confronted him angrily, questioning why he had deceived him. He had said he was sent by the Jade Emperor to summon him, yet these warriors were blocking the heavenly gate and not letting him enter. Jade Star smiled and tried to calm him down. He said, "Your Majesty, please calm your anger. You have never been to heaven before and have no official title. The celestial warriors do not know you at all, so how could they let you enter without permission? Once you meet His Heavenly Majesty, receive your immortal registration, and be granted an official position, you can come and go freely in the future. No one will dare to stop you." At first, Wukong said he would not enter, but Jade Star quickly pulled him back and insisted on taking him inside. As they approached the heavenly gate, Jade Star called out loudly, "Heavenly warriors and officials of all ranks, make way. This is an immortal from the mortal world." He had been ordered by the Jade Emperor to summon him. Grow tall heavenly king and the celestial warriors finally put away their weapons and stepped aside. Wukong believed Jade Star's words then and followed him slowly into the gate, admiring the scenery of heaven. Stepping into heaven for the first time, Wukong was stunned by what he saw. Golden light blazed like red rainbows, and auspicious chi billowed like purple mist. The southern heavenly gate was made of dark green glazed jade, shining brightly with inlaid precious gems. On both sides stood dozens of heavenly marshals, each standing firm like pillars, holding weapons and flags. In front of them were more than a dozen golden-armored celestial beings, each carrying halberds, whips, swords, and spears. The outer area was impressive enough, but the inside was even more breathtaking. Large pillars lined the walls, wrapped around by golden-scaled red-bearded dragons that glistened in the light. Several long bridges stretched across, with colorful feathered red-crowned cranes circling above. Bright clouds reflected the heavenly light, and light mist covered the starry sky. Heaven had 33 celestial palaces, including the Cloud-Sending Palace, Visha Palace, 5 Brightness Palace, Sun Palace, and Medicine Garden Palace, each with golden mythical beasts carved on their roof ridges. There were also 72 grand halls such as the Court Hall, Cloud Treading Hall, Precious Light Hall, Heavenly King Hall, and Spiritual Official Hall, each with jade unicorns standing beside their pillars. On the Longevity Star's platform, rare flowers bloomed endlessly for thousands of years. By the immortal medicine furnaces, evergreen magical grasses thrived for countless ages. Near the pilgrimage tower, officials wore crimson silk robes that sparkled like stars and lotus crowns that shone with gold and jade. They wore jade hairpins, pearl shoes, purple ribbons, and gold medals. When the golden bell rang, gods from heaven, earth, and the underworld presented memorials on the red steps. When the heavenly drum boomed, all immortals paid homage to the Jade Emperor. In the Golden Cloud Palace, golden nails dotted the jade doors, and colorful phoenixes danced by the red gates. Corridors and passageways were exquisitely carved everywhere, with 3 pavilions adorned with dancing dragons and phoenixes. Above the palace rose a tall, bright golden gourd-shaped roof, shining brilliantly. Below, heavenly maidens held palm leaf fans and fairy handkerchiefs. The court celestial warriors looked fierce, and the imperial bodyguards stood proudly. In the center, a glazed plate held piles of elixir of immortality, and an agate vase held twisted coral branches. Heaven had all kinds of rare treasures that could not be found in the mortal world. Golden palaces, silver halls, and purple mansions were surrounded by magical flowers and exotic grasses. Jade rabbits passed by the pilgrimage altar, and golden crows flew low in homage to the immortals. Yukon was destined to enter this heavenly realm, free from the filth of the mortal world. Jade Star led Yukon to the outside of the Golden Cloud Palace. Without waiting for the imperial summons, they went straight to the Jade Emperor's throne. Jade Star bowed and kowtowed, but Wukong stood straight beside him, not paying homage. He only listened carefully as Jade Star reported. Jade Star said, "Your Majesty, I have fulfilled your order and brought the immortal from the mortal world." The Jade Emperor lifted the curtain and asked which one is the immortal from the mortal world. Yukong finally bowed slightly and replied, "I am Yukong." The celestial officials were shocked and exclaimed, "This wild monkey, how dare he answer so casually without kowtowing and paying homage? He deserves to die." The Jade Emperor issued an edict. Sun Wukong is an immortal from the mortal world who has just taken human form. He does not know the court etiquette, so let him be forgiven for now. The celestial officials shouted, "Thank you, Your Majesty." Yukong then bowed respectfully to the Jade Emperor. The Jade Emperor ordered the civil and military celestial officials to find a vacant position for Yukong. Marshal Star-Lord stepped forward and reported, "All palaces, halls, and regions in heaven are fully staffed. Only the Heavenly Horse Registry lacks a chief manager." The Jade Emperor decreed let him be appointed as the Bimaloon. The officials thanked the Emperor, and Wukong just bowed again. The Jade Emperor then sent Woodstar to escort Wukong to the Heavenly Horse Registry to take office. Wukong followed Woodstar happily to the registry. After the handover, Woodstar returned to his palace. Wukong gathered all the officials of the registry, including supervisors, deputies, record keepers, and attendants, and checked the affairs of the office. He found that there were 1,000 heavenly horses there. These horses were all extraordinary, including fine breeds like Hualu, Qiji, Luer, Xianli, Longmei, Ziying, Xie, Sushuang, Juedi, Yimiao, Yanyao, Feihuang, Taotu, Fanyu, Chidu, Chaoguang, Yuwei, Mijing, Tenwu, Xinguang, Juefeng, Juedi, Fifan, Banshao, Epiao, Chidian, Tongjue, Fuyun, Solong, Hulu, Juchen, Zilin, as well as famous horses from distant lands like the 4 Great Ones and the 8 Steeds. Each horse was full of energy, galloping like the wind and soaring through clouds. Yukong checked the records and counted the horses. In the registry, the record keepers were responsible for collecting and storing forage. The attendants cleaned the horses, fed them, gave them water, and prepared their food. The supervisors and deputies assisted in managing daily affairs. Yukong stayed awake day and night, taking good care of the horses. During the day, he played around occasionally, but at night he was diligent in his duties. If a horse fell asleep, he would wake it up to eat. If a horse wandered around, he would lead it to the trough to feed. The heavenly horses were docile in his presence, and soon they became fat and strong. More than half a month passed in the blink of an eye. One day, when Yukong had some free time, the officials held a feast to welcome him and celebrate his appointment. As they drank happily, Yukong suddenly stopped his cup and asked, "What kind of official is this final one?" The officials replied, "That is the official title." Yukong asked, "What rank is it?" The officials said it has no rank. Yukong thought, if it has no rank, it must be the highest possible. But the officials quickly said, "No, no. It is called the lowest rank, not even included in the official hierarchy." Yukong asked, "What does the lowest rank mean?" The officials explained it as the lowest official position, only responsible for taking care of horses. Even if you work as hard as you do and feed the horses well, you will only get a word of praise. If the horses become thin or weak, you will be blamed. If any horse is seriously injured, you will be punished or fined. Hearing this, Yukong flew into a rage. He gritted his teeth and shouted, "How dare they look down on me? I was a king in Flower and Fruit Mountain. How could they trick me into taking care of horses? Taking care of horses is a lowly job for young people. It is not suitable for me. I quit." With a loud crash, he overturned the table. He took out his rare golden cudgel from his ear, shook it until it was as thick as a bowl, and used his martial arts skills to fight his way out of the Heavenly Horse Registry, heading straight for the southern Heavenly Gate. The celestial warriors knew he had been granted an official position as Baimalan, so they did not dare to stop him and let him escape. In a moment, Yukong landed his cloud on Flower and Fruit Mountain. He saw the 4 great generals and the kings of various caves drilling their soldiers. Yukong shouted loudly, "My subjects, I am back." The monkeys rushed forward to kowtow to him, welcoming him into the deep cave and inviting him to sit on his throne. They prepared a feast to welcome him back. The monkeys said, "Congratulations, Your Majesty. You have been in heaven for more than 10 years. You must have returned in glory." Yukong said, "I was only there for more than half a month. How could it be 10 years? The monkeys explained, "Time passes differently in heaven. One day in heaven is 1 year in the mortal world." They then asked, "What official position did you get in heaven?" Yukong waved his hand and said, "It is too embarrassing to say." That Jade Emperor does not know how to use talented people. Seeing my appearance, he appointed me as Baimalan. It turns out that job is just taking care of horses, the lowest rank of official. I did not know at first and had fun in the registry. Today, I asked my colleagues and found out how humble the position is. I was so angry that I overturned the table, refused the title, and came back. The monkeys cheered. "Well done, well done. Your Majesty is a king in this blessed cave. You are respected and happy here. Why would you want to be a horsekeeper for them?" They ordered their subordinates to prepare more wine to cheer Wukong up. As they drank and celebrated, someone reported, "Your Majesty, 2 one-horned ghost kings are here to see you." Wukong said, "Let them in." The ghost kings tidied their robes, ran into the cave, and knelt down to kowtow. Wukong asked, "What brings you here?" The ghost kings replied, "We have long heard that your Majesty is recruiting talented people, but we have never had the chance to meet you. Now we hear that you have received an official title in heaven and returned in glory, so we specially offer you a crimson imperial robe to celebrate. If you do not mind our humble status and are willing to accept us, we will serve you faithfully." Wukong was overjoyed. He put on the crimson robe, and everyone bowed to him in admiration. Wukong appointed the Ghost Kings as vanguard commanders. After thanking him, the Ghost Kings asked again, "Your Majesty, what official position did you get in heaven?" Wukong replied, "The Jade Emperor looks down on talented people. He appointed me as Baimalan." The Ghost King said, "Your Majesty has such powerful magic. How could you take care of horses for them? Why not call yourself the great sage equal to heaven?" Wukong was extremely happy when he heard this and kept saying, "Good idea, good idea, good idea." He ordered the 4 great generals to make a flag for him immediately, with the words "Great Sage equal to heaven" written on it. He told them to erect the flag and hang it high. From then on, everyone should call him the Great Sage equal to heaven, not Your Majesty anymore. He also ordered them to inform all the kings of the other caves. The next day, the Jade Emperor held a court session. Heavenly Master Zhang led the supervisors and deputies of the Heavenly Horse Registry to kneel on the red steps and report. "Your Majesty, the newly appointed Baimalan's son Wukong thought the position was too low and rebelled against heaven yesterday." As they spoke, Grow Tall Heavenly King led the celestial warriors from the southern heavenly gate to report as well. Baimalan left the heavenly gate for no reason. The Jade Emperor was angry and issued an edict. "Let both groups return to their posts. I will send heavenly troops to capture this monster." Heavenly King Li Jing with the pagoda and his son 3rd Prince Neza stepped forward from the court and said, "Your Majesty, we are willing to lead the troops to subdue this monster." The Jade Emperor was delighted and appointed Heavenly King Li Jing as the Grand Marshal against demons and 3rd Prince Neza as the Divine General of the 3 altars. He ordered them to send troops to the mortal world immediately. Heavenly King Li Jing and Neza kowtowed to thank the Emperor and returned to their palaces. They assembled their troops, led their generals, appointed Giant Spirit God as the vanguard, Yuta General as the rear guard, and Yacha General as the military inspector. In a short time, the army marched out of the southern heavenly gate and arrived at Flower and Fruit Mountain. They set up camp on an open plain and ordered Giant Spirit God to challenge Wukong. Giant Spirit God obeyed, put on his armor, held his flower-spreading axe, and went to the outside of the water curtain cave. He saw many monsters, wolves, tigers, leopards, and other beasts wielding spears and swords, jumping and roaring outside the cave. Giant Spirit God shouted loudly, "You monsters, go and tell Baimuan immediately. I am a general from heaven, sent by the Jade Emperor to subdue him. Tell him to come out and surrender quickly, or all of you will be injured." The monsters rushed into the cave to report, "Disaster, disaster." Wukong asked what disaster. The monsters replied, "There is a celestial general outside. He says he is sent by the Jade Emperor to subdue you. He told you to come out and surrender quickly, or we will all die." Wukong said, "Bring me my armor and weapons." He put on his golden crown, golden armor, and cloud shoes, held his very golden cudgel, led his subordinates out of the cave, and formed a battle formation. Giant Spirit God stared at Wukong and saw that he wore bright golden armor and a shining golden crown. He held a golden cudgel in his hand and wore cloud shoes that matched his outfit. His eyes were like bright stars, and his ears were long and firm. He had a tall and flexible figure, with a loud voice like a bell. This was the sharp-mouthed, fanged Baimuan who aspired to be the great sage equal to heaven. Giant Spirit God shouted loudly, "You wild monkey, do you know who I am?" Wukong asked quickly, "Which celestial god are you? I have never met you. Tell me your name quickly." Giant Spirit God shouted, "You arrogant monkey, you do not recognize me. I am Giant Spirit God, the vanguard of heavenly kingly Jing, a high-ranking celestial being. I am here to subdue you by the Jade Emperor's order. Take off your armor and surrender immediately, or all the beasts on this mountain will be killed. If you dare to say no, I will turn you into powder in an instant." Wukong was furious and said, "Arrogant celestial god, stop boasting. I could kill you with one strike of my cudgel, but I am afraid no one will go back to report. I will spare your life for now. Go back to heaven and tell the Jade Emperor that he does not know how to use talented people. I have immense magic power, so why did he let me take care of horses? Look at the words on my flag. If he appoints me to the position written on the flag, I will not use force, and heaven and earth will be peaceful. If he refuses, I will attack the Golden Cloud Palace and make sure he cannot sit comfortably on his throne." Giant Spirit God looked up and saw a tall flag outside the cave with the words "Great Sage Equal to Heaven" written on it. He sneered 3 times and said, "This wild monkey is so ignorant and arrogant. He dares to call himself the Great Sage Equal to Heaven. Take this axe." He swung his axe and chopped at Wukong. Wukong was calm and raised his golden cudgel to block the attack. The battle was fierce. Wukong's weapon was the very golden cudgel, and Giant Spirit God's was the flower-spreading axe. They had just met and did not know each other's strength. The axe and the cudgel clashed left and right. One used his magic secretly, and the other boasted loudly. When they used their spells, clouds and mist filled the air. When they fought hand to hand, sand and dust flew everywhere. The celestial general had powerful magic, but Wukong's transformations were endless. Wukong swung his cudgel like a dragon playing in water, and giant spirit god chopped with his axe like a phoenix flying through flowers. Giant spirit god was famous throughout heaven, but his skills were no match for Wukong. Wukong gently swung his iron cudgel and hit giant spirit god on the head, making his whole body go numb. Giant spirit god could not resist. He quickly raised his axe to block, but with a loud crack, the axe handle was split in two. He hurriedly retreated and fled the battlefield. Wukong laughed and said, "Coward, coward! I spared your life. Go back to report quickly, go back to report quickly." Giant spirit god returned to the camp and knelt before heavenly kingly Jing. He said hastily, "Baimoan is really powerful. I could not defeat him and came back to ask for punishment." Heavenly kingly Jing was angry and shouted, "You have damaged my reputation. Drag him out and behead him." Third Prince Neza stepped forward and begged, "Father, please calm your anger. Spare giant spirit god's life. Let me go into battle and test the monkey's strength." Heavenly kingly Jing accepted his advice and ordered giant spirit god to return to the camp and wait for punishment. Third Prince Neza put on his armor, jumped out of the camp, and rushed to the outside of the water curtain cave. Wukong was about to withdraw his troops when he saw Neza approaching bravely. Neza was young, with his hair tied in two buns that just covered his forehead, and soft hair that had not yet grown over his shoulders. He was intelligent and quick-witted, with a handsome and refined appearance. He was like a unicorn in heaven and a phoenix in the clouds. As a descendant of dragons, he had an extraordinary bearing, different from ordinary mortals. He carried 6 magical weapons and was capable of flying and transforming infinitely. He had been ordered by the Jade Emperor and granted the title of Divine General of the 3 Altars. Wukong stepped forward and asked, "Which family's boy are you? Why are you coming to my door? What do you want?" Neza shouted, "You wild monkey, do you not recognize me? I am Third Prince Neza, the son of Heavenly Kingly Jing. I am here to capture you by the Jade Emperor's special order." Wukong laughed and said, "Little prince, your baby teeth have not fallen out yet, and your baby hair is still not dry. How dare you talk such big words? I will spare your life and not hit you. Just look at the words on my flag and go back to tell the Jade Emperor. If he appoints me to that position, there will be no need to send troops. I will surrender voluntarily. If he does not satisfy me, I will definitely attack the Golden Cloud Palace." Neza looked up and saw the words "Great Sage" equal to heaven. He said, "How much magic power can this wild monkey have to dare to use such a title? Do not be afraid. Take this sword." Wukong said, "I will stand here and let you chop me a few times." Neza was furious. He shouted loudly and called out transform. In an instant, he turned into a three-headed, six-armed figure, holding six magical weapons: demon-slaying sword, demon-cutting blade, demon-binding rope, demon-subduing pestle, magic ball, and fire wheel. He attacked Wukong fiercely from all directions. Wukong was surprised and thought, "This boy has some skills. Do not be rude. Watch my magic." Wukong shouted loudly and also called out transform. He turned into a three-headed, six-armed figure as well. He shook his very golden cudgel, which turned into three cudgels. He held one cudgel in each of his 6 hands and blocked Neza's attack. The battle was earth-shaking and extremely fierce. The six-armed third prince Neza and the naturally born stone monkey Wukong were evenly matched opponents, both with extraordinary origins. One was sent down to the mortal world by order, and the other rebelled against heaven out of arrogance. Neza's demon-slaying sword was sharp. His demon-cutting blade was fierce enough to scare gods and ghosts. His demon-binding rope was like a flying python. His demon-subduing pestle was like a wolf's head. His fire wheel emitted dazzling lightning, and his magic ball rolled back and forth. Wukong wielded 3 very golden cudgels, blocking and counterattacking with clever tactics. They fought dozens of rounds without a winner, and Neza refused to give up. He transformed his 6 weapons into thousands upon thousands of them, raining down on Wukong. Wukong was not afraid and laughed. He waved his iron cudgels freely, transforming 1 into 1,000, and 1,000 into 10,000, swinging them wildly in the air like flying dragons. The kings of all caves were so frightened that they closed their doors, and all the monsters on the mountain hid. The celestial troops shouted angrily, and the sky was filled with dark clouds. Wukong's golden cudgel whistled through the air. On one side, the celestial warriors' shouts terrified everyone. On the other side, the monkeys' flags shook, making everyone anxious. Both sides fought fiercely, and no one knew who was stronger. Third Prince Neza and Wukong displayed their magical powers and fought 30 rounds. Neza's 6 weapons turned into countless copies, and Wukong's golden cudgel also multiplied into thousands. The weapons flew like raindrops and shooting stars in the sky, and the battle was evenly matched. At that moment, Wukong acted quickly. He pulled out a hair, shouted transform, and turned it into his own image, holding a cudgel and fighting Neza. His real body leaped behind Neza and swung his cudgel at Neza's left arm. Neza was casting a spell when he heard the wind from the cudgel. He tried to dodge, but it was too late. He was hit and fled in pain. He withdrew his magic, put his 6 weapons back, and retreated in defeat. Heavenly King Li Jing had been watching the battle from the camp. He was about to send troops to help when Neza hurried back, trembling with fear. "Father, Baimuan is really powerful. Even with my magic, I could not defeat him. He injured my arm." Heavenly King Li Jing was shocked and said, "How can we defeat such a powerful monster?" Neza said, "He has a flag outside his cave with the words Great Sage Equal to Heaven written on it. He said that if the Jade Emperor appoints him to that position, he will stop fighting and surrender. If not, he will attack the Golden Cloud Palace. Heavenly King Li Jing said, "In that case, we should not continue fighting. Let us go back to heaven and report this to the Jade Emperor. We can send more heavenly troops to capture him later." Neza was injured and could not fight anymore, so he returned to heaven with Heavenly King Li Jing to report. Yukong returned to the mountain victorious. The kings of the 72 caves and his 6 sworn brothers came to congratulate him. They drank and celebrated happily in the blessed cave. Yukong said to his 6 brothers, "Since I am called the great sage equal to heaven, you can all call yourselves great sages too." Among them, the bold demon king shouted loudly, "Brother, that is a good idea. I will call myself the great sage of the flat sky." The flood dragon demon king said, "I will call myself the great sage of the sea." The rock demon king said, "I will call myself the great sage of the mixed sky." The lion camel king said, "I will call myself the great sage of moving mountains." The macaque king said, "I will call myself the great sage of wind." The Umarmazet king said, "I will call myself the great sage of driving gods." The 7 great sages acted freely, claiming their own titles, and celebrated happily for a day before leaving. Heavenly King Li Jing and 3rd Prince Neza led their generals back to the Golden Cloud Palace. They reported to the Jade Emperor, "Your Majesty, we were ordered to send troops to the mortal world to subdue the immortal son Yukong. However, he is too powerful, and we could not defeat him. We beg you to send more troops to eliminate him." The Jade Emperor said, "How much magic power can a single wild monkey have? Do we really need to send more troops?" 3rd Prince Neza stepped forward and said, "Please spare my life, Your Majesty. That wild monkey wields an iron cudgel. He first defeated Giant Spirit God and then injured my arm. He has a flag outside his cave with the words 'Great Sage Equal to Heaven' written on it. He said that if you appoint him to that position, he will surrender immediately. If not, he will attack the Golden Cloud Palace." The Jade Emperor was shocked and said, "How dare this wild monkey be so arrogant? Order all generals to execute him immediately." Just then, Jade Star stepped forward from the court and said, "That wild monkey only speaks without knowing his place. If we send troops to fight him, it may take a long time to subdue him, and it will waste a lot of troops and resources. Why not show mercy, Your Majesty? Issue another edict to summon him and appoint him as the great sage equal to heaven. It can be an empty title with no official duties or salary." The Jade Emperor asked, "What does empty title with no official duties or salary mean?" Jade Star replied, "The title is Great Sage Equal to Heaven, but he will not be assigned any work or receive any salary. We can keep him in heaven to restrain his arrogant heart and prevent him from causing trouble. This way, heaven and earth will be peaceful." The Jade Emperor said, "I agree with your suggestion." He immediately issued an edict and ordered Jade Star to deliver it. Jade Star left the southern heavenly gate again and went straight to the outside of the water curtain cave on Flower and Fruit Mountain. The scene was very different from before. The cave was filled with a powerful and imposing aura, and there was a strong sense of hostility. All kinds of monsters were there, holding swords, spears, knives, and sticks, roaring and jumping. When they saw Jadestar, they all rushed forward to attack him. Jadestar said, "Leaders of the monsters, please go and report to your great sage. I am an angel sent by the Jade Emperor, and I have an edict to invite him." The monsters rushed into the cave to report. "There is an old man outside. He says he is an angel from heaven and has an edict to invite you, your majesty." Wukong said, "Good, good. It must be Jadestar who came last time. Although the official position he offered me was not good, I did get to go to heaven once and learned the way in and out of the heavenly gate. He must have good news this time." He ordered his subordinates to welcome Jadestar with great fanfare. Wukong put on his golden crown and armor, wore the crimson robe over his armor, put on his cloud shoes, and hurried out of the cave. He bowed respectfully and shouted, "Elder Star, please come in. Forgive me for not welcoming you earlier." Jadestar stepped forward quickly, entered the cave, and stood facing south. He said, "I have something to tell you, great sage. A few days ago, because you thought the official position was too low, you left the Heavenly Horse Registry. The officials of the registry reported this to the Jade Emperor. The Jade Emperor issued an edict saying that all official appointments start from the lowest rank and gradually rise. Why did you complain about the position being too low? Then Heavenly King Li Jing led Neza to the mortal world to fight you. They did not know how powerful you are, so they were defeated. They returned to heaven and reported that you had erected a flag and wanted to be called the Great Sage equal to heaven. The military generals wanted to argue, but I risked my life to report to the Jade Emperor, begging him to avoid sending more troops and to grant you the title. The Jade Emperor agreed to my request, so I came to invite you today." Wukong laughed and said, "Thank you for your hard work last time, and thank you for your kindness today. But I want to know if there is really an official position called Great Sage equal to heaven in heaven." Jadestar replied, "I would not have dared to come with the edict if I had not obtained the Jade Emperor's approval for this title. If anything does not meet your expectations, you can blame me." Wukong was overjoyed and insisted on keeping Jadestar for a drink, but Jadestar refused. So Wukong and Jadestar flew up into the sky on a cloud and headed for the southern heavenly gate. The celestial warriors and officials all bowed to welcome them. They went straight to the Golden Cloud Palace. Jadestar bowed and reported, "Your Majesty, I have fulfilled your order and brought Sun Wukong, the former Baimalan." The Jade Emperor said, "Let Sun Wukong come forward. Today, I appoint you as the Great Sage equal to heaven. This is the highest official title. But you must not cause trouble again." Wukong just bowed and said, "Thank you, Your Majesty." The Jade Emperor immediately ordered the construction officials Master Zhang and Master Lu to build a mansion of the Great Sage equal to heaven on the right side of the Peach Garden. Inside the mansion, there were 2 departments, the Department of Tranquility and the Department of Peace. Each department had celestial officials to assist. He also sent the 5 pecks of rice immortals to escort Ryukong to his new post, and gave him 2 bottles of imperial wine and 10 golden flowers as gifts, telling him to calm his mind and not misbehave again. Ryukong respectfully accepted the order. On the same day, he went to the mansion of the great sage equal to heaven with the 5 pecks of rice immortals. He opened the wine bottles and drank happily with everyone. After sending the immortals back to their palaces, Ryukong was finally satisfied and happy. He lived a free and unrestrained life in heaven, with no worries or troubles. As the saying goes, his immortal name is forever recorded in the Book of Longevity, and he will never fall into the cycle of reincarnation. No one knows what will happen next. Let us continue to listen to the next chapter.